Everyone wants to know how to succeed in crypto, but the fastest way to know how to succeed is to know how to fail. If you don't do the things that are failure, that are guaranteed to build in failure to your crypto investment, then you're much more likely to succeed. And of course, I want you to succeed. That's why I give away a whole trading course at auraright.media when you become a member. That helps you to understand the fundamentals of trading, of movements, of price action, how markets move. So you understand that. I think this information belongs to everyone, should not be gatekept. So it's free to members. So here's the thing. And I put a lot of information out here also that is free, but there's some things I can't say because you'll hurt yourself if you don't have the whole picture, right? So the fastest way to fail, let me just explain this first before I get into what the fastest way to fail in crypto is, okay? So I don't know what the experiment was. It was some years ago. They did an experiment with children, and they took children, and they basically, a group of children, they followed these kids all through their lives. They did this little experiment on them, which was not a painful experiment. Basically, they gave every child separately. They weren't together. They gave them a marshmallow, and they told them, if you can eat this marshmallow now, but if you wait, I don't know how long, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, something like that, then we'll give you a second marshmallow. You can have two if you can wait. And so some of the children waited. And then at the end of that time, they got the second marshmallow. Some of the children didn't wait and they just ate their marshmallow and they're like, where's more? Where's more? Okay. So then they followed these children throughout their lives, and they learned that those who waited for the second marshmallow, this was a high predictor of success long-term in life. Those who could wait were more likely to be able to delay gratification, to be able to build success in their lives, because they would be able to understand and see, well, if I work hard now, then I can get rewards later, right? They're not instant gratification. Gimme, now. Okay. That instant gratification attitude is the fastest way to fail. It's the fastest way to fail in crypto. It's the fastest way to fail in everything. People who have more of a long-term vision, who build a foundation, are going to succeed. It's the same thing as the three little pigs, right? We had a pig that built a house very quickly out of straw. And then the first strong gust of wind and it blew over, right? We had another pig who built a little more slowly a house out of twigs, but that also didn't survive the strong winds. Then we had the pig that was slow and steady and built a very solid house out of bricks with a nice solid foundation. That house lasted. So if you want a house that's going to last, you need to be patient. Okay, you need to have a long-term vision horizon. This is why the second wave of crypto investors, those who were getting into the market 2016, 2017, all the way up to about 2019, before things started to take off on this last run up, those are the more OG long-term vision type of investors. I'm not saying newer people can't have that kind of vision, but the next wave of people that came in around 2020 and beyond were more short-term thinkers. Okay, they were more looking for fast results and fast gains because they'd heard about the gains that other people had made, right? Which were real. People made those gains. That happened. But the fact of it is that not all coins will move quickly. And if you're getting the really good ones, theoretically, if you want to succeed in crypto, you buy the good coins with a long-term event horizon on your mind. There's never like I have to get this money instantly. This is something that I say a lot in my trading course. Do not invest what you cannot be without. It doesn't mean what you could lose or you could wait a long time to see rewards from. Okay. Good prime example, Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash, I've been predicting would succeed beyond almost a lot of other coins since 2019, 2018, 2017, actually, since it actually came out. So has it run up more than anything else? I mean, it's held its own. It hasn't done anything spectacular, but right now it is still holding its own, even as the rest of the market is going down. Let me show you. So here we go. As I, record this, the market is showing a little bit of green in the last hour, but for the most part, things are down in the last 24 hours, except for a couple coins. I mean, Bitcoin Cash, it's been down as well, but not as much as a lot of these other coins. And it is still holding above $500. So it's it's holding its own, okay? It's been more stable, I guess is the way to explain it, because Bitcoin Cash really, I mean, it's down 18% in the last 7 days. Bitcoin Cash down 9%. Ethereum down 28%. That's a lot in the last week, right? So if we look at Bitcoin Cash, we can see that in the recent history, yes, it's going down because the whole market is going down, but it doesn't have the same kind of loss profile as a lot of other coins. And the point is that I've been saying to you here and that I've been saying to members all along is that Bitcoin Cash is for the collapse, after the collapse. It's a coin for rebuilding after the dollar collapses. And that is true of quite a few of the coins I have recommended, some of the ones that haven't moved, because of course they're after the collapse coins. They're not really designed to be pump and dumped during this fake period of time from 2020 to now, where basically all the ICOs were gaming. They were gaming the system. They were gaming you. They were manipulations, okay? Most of those coins were not good. They're not going to be long-term worthwhile to have. The real solid crypto investments have happened earlier than that for the most part, okay? So some of these coins, yeah, they may not have moved yet, but that doesn't mean they're not here to take over and solve big problems when the system breaks. That is what's going to happen. So I'm going to update my members. I'm going to post this video to members with an update explaining which coins are after the system collapses. For the most part, many of my coins that I have recommended are going to really move as the system collapses, after the system collapses. I have not jumped on the bandwagon of every meme coin. I don't like them because they're certainly not solving any real world problems. They're not going to be here after the system collapses, right? A couple, one or two, but that's because they have other uses, not just memes. And then the, and a lot of these DeFi coins, they are infringing on patents. So they're not going to actually have the success that they look like they're going to have. So that's my take for you guys. Do not have a short-term mentality with crypto. If you want to make swing trades, sure. My trading course helps you to understand your own strategy, what works for you. Everyone has different risk tolerance. Everyone needs to strategize for themselves. So the course helps you to identify and create a trading plan that you can use that's going to work for you. It's not a one size fits all, because guess what? Not everyone's the same. I'm not a guy sitting at home with a bunch of testosterone on the computer 24/7 trying to trade. I don't want that. That's not how I want to trade. I don't want to be chained to my computer. I trade infrequently. I trade swing trade. That's it. I don't do daily trades. But that's what works for me, okay? That's not what works for you. That's fine. That's whatever works for you is what you should do. I'm not here to tell anyone what to do. I provide information, not decision making. And the best way you can make decisions that are going to empower you is to understand who you are, what works for you, and how to create a plan and a strategy for yourself. Nobody else can do it for you. And that's what I'm here to help you try and see. That's what astrology has always been about. Know thyself. And that is really a key element, because don't be jumping on every next train that comes along, everything that looks exciting and puts a lot of glitz out there, because that's not the thing. That's just not going to build long-term success. We've seen a lot of pump and dumps in the crypto market. We just saw even silver, which is one of the most fundamentally solid investment, if not the most fundamentally solid investment in all of my lifetime. We saw it pump and dump. That happens. So you have to have some conviction. You have to have a long-term vision. You have to have a long event horizon, and you have to have a strategy. That is how you succeed. The fastest way to fail is to look for instant results, instant, fast riches. Sometimes people make great trades, and people sell their trades and their courses using that FOMO. It's a bad idea to follow those people, because that just doesn't work. All right, that's it. I'll talk to you later. Have a good day. Bye.